Hey Dreamers. The Regina Kids podcast presents Hey Dreamers with your host Maxi. On this episode, we talk about grief. Yes, grief really sucks. And we'll get into some other things too. Just know that the Regina Kids podcast will return at the top of 2025. So stay tuned for that and let's get into the show. Regina Kids podcast presents Hey Dreamers. Hey Dreamers. Welcome to the bonus episodes. I know. I missed a few months. I was supposed to do this back, way back. I think I was supposed to drop all these episodes for Mental Health Awareness Month, but we done made it all the way to December. We are 31 days until the end of 2024. So, yeah, life just life the shit out of me. That's just what it was. Um, no sugar coat. We not turning sugar into we not turning shit into sugar. Just yeah, life just got had a way of like this has been the most trying year of my life. But let me back up for the people who are new here. My name is Maxie. I am one half of the Regina Kids podcast that I host with my fantabulous little sister Rita, which will be back at the top of 2025. I just like to say that I appreciate all the support, all the love. People who I think the last posting we had, we did do an episode about losing our mother, and then I uploaded my book, my first audio book, which was a journey within itself. My second book, Love You More, Grieving Isn't Easy and Healing Hurts, so appropriate for today's topic, um, is available on Audible, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify for all of your listening pleasure. So that was uploaded. I think that was the last thing that you guys heard from us. So here's the thing. Let's get all of the introductions out of the way. So last time we were here, I was a three-time self-published author. You can see that in my title, broadcast media manager and super producer. I recently dropped my healing journal, Finding Your Inner Strength, which is available now on Amazon. And for if you're new here, I am an author. My name is Maxie E. Norman. All of my books are available on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. My first book, All My Broken Crayons Still Colors, a daily affirmation book and a journal. My second book, Love You More, Grieving Isn't Easy and Healing Hurts, is now also an audiobook. The trilogy, I am not responsible for your tears, The Authentic Guide to Being Happy, and then my healing journal. So you can catch all of those books now on Amazon. The first three books are also available on Barnes and Noble if you like hardcover books. So that's that on that. Um, yes, today we're going to talk about how grief really sucks. And I know people attach grief only to losing a loved one, when in reality, we grieve a lot of things: friendships, jobs, pets, you name it. Um, I thought this was a good topic because with the holidays here, I know for me, the grief really kicks in, the depression, the anxiety, and I just wanted to, my goal even with my books, is to motivate, encourage, inspire, and help anybody start the process of healing. So I wasn't too big on therapy and all of the things. Now I feel like I'm an advocate. I always feel like I be saying, well, my therapist said, and my therapist this and that. So, yeah, when the grief kicks in, this is where the faith kicks up, where if you need somebody to talk to, you need to find somebody to talk to. I feel like this year has lifed me to the point of like, I'm just in grief all the time. It may not seem like it, I may not show it all the time, but I feel like I'm in the constant like rotation of all of the stages of grief all the time. You guys might need to go back a little bit and catch up if this is your first episode. We did a whole episode about um my mother passing, and October 31st made 1 year. That's why I said this year has been really, really, really rough. Like really rough. And it's also been like a year of like people showing me exactly who they are. Because I feel like when you lose a parent, and I think it's similar to people who lose a child, like it's something in you that breaks, and it's not a fixable thing. Like it's not like heartache. It's not like one of those things like, oh, I was dating this guy for this many years and we broke up and now my heart is broken. Like those kind of breaks can be mended. Like when you lose a parent, it's one of those things like a piece of your heart just dissolves and breaks off and you kind of left feeling a little empty. And it's one of those things where you just are really like it's like a wound that's constantly in the process of trying to heal. And every time you turn around, somebody is like ripping a band-aid off, or you bumping your arm up against the scab and it's bleeding again. That's how that feels. And I think like this year, people, because I'm so open and into my feelings, I feel like this year has shown me like what people what I mean to people, how what people really think. Like I'm just like, when people like, oh, you stay woke, like I feel like I've been awake for a long time now, and you just see how people react. And the reason why grief sucks so damn bad is because after the funeral and everything, and you go back to and people go back to their normal routines in life. Your routine in life is not the same anymore. It has changed. I remember when my mom really started to get sick, um, I became her caregiver. And when you allow yourself to be the caregiver for somebody that you love, like you're gonna have good days, you're gonna have bad days, but it's the routine of it that you get accustomed to. I got accustomed to getting up, getting ready for work, and being I work from home. Then I see my mom will get up shortly after me, and then I would fix her breakfast. And then on my breaks, I will go sit with her and talk to her about whatever little show she watching, or laugh with her with whomever she's on the phone with. Then fix her lunch, and then figure out what we eating for dinner. And are we doing a grocery pickup? Did she need me to order her something from Amazon? Um, one of me and my mom's bonding things was like home interior and decorating and furniture and stuff like that. So, you know, now when I see some cute furniture item, I have nobody to be like, "Oh, mom, what do you think about this?" Or, um, "What do you think about me changing this in my house?" Or getting somebody to paint this or do some wallpaper. It's like just those really, really small things that's the old saying of you don't miss it till it's gone. When it's gone, it's the constant replaying it in your mind over and over and over again. It's the constant like, man, I wish I would have did this differently, or I should have did this, or it's the woulda, shoulda, couldas, and the things that you can't take back. And the things that you wish you had a did, or things that you wish that y'all had a done together. It's the TV shows that you watch that you could have watched 1,000 times, but now any little thing about people getting into it with their moms or mending their relationships with their mom that get to you. And it's the not being able to talk to everybody because everybody don't understand. Like, some people just don't get it. And then you have other people who've been in similar situations, but they deal with their grief differently. And that's one thing I had to process in therapy, like not being resentful or being mad because somebody else is processing the loss of my mother differently from me. And also feeling like, well, shit, they weren't there, so how dare they? You have to be open to being less judgmental and being in your feelings where you feel like you have to watch your words and mind how you treat people and how you talk to people, because grief will cause you to be so, so angry and so, so mad that you can hurt other people in the process when everybody around you is dealing with grief. And it's just one of those tricky things. It's like a catch 22. Because on one hand, I knew my mom was sick, but the sickness that she passed from wasn't the same illness that she had been dealing with for 7 years. She was dealing with COPD. And she got COPD the same year that my father passed away in April, and my mom was diagnosed with COPD in December and then was forced into retirement that same December. Um, it was one of those things where I was finding myself for the first couple of years like hyper, like we gotta spend time with her, gotta spend time with her, gotta spend time with her. But it was more of I'm in physical mourning while she is still alive versus enjoying the moments with her. And once I got past the trying to mourn her and just, hey, whatever time we have here, I'm gonna spend with her to appreciate her, to learn something, to get some insight, to resolve any, past or childhood traumas. And believe me, there's never going to be enough conversations, enough things to try to rush and resolve. However many years you've been here on Earth. I've been here almost 44 years, so there was not enough. I still find myself like, dang, I wish I would have asked her this. I wish I would have did this. There's a whole lot of woulda, shoulda, couldas. I wish. You know what I'm saying? I see people and their parents are 70, 80, and I'm just like, it was so many things that I wanted to achieve in my own life that I wanted to celebrate with her. And same goes for my sisters and my nieces and the people who loved her that wanted her to be here and see all of that. And that time was just cut short. That's why you have to appreciate people while they're here, because the thing that's inevitable is if you live, you will die. And that's a harsh reality because everything in between is up to you. It's up to you to live that life and show up as your full authentic self so that when you are called home, you lived a fulfilled life. Because my mom got diagnosed with two cancers, and from October the 1st to October 31st, she went through a lot. Those 31 days just still being here, as well as I was going through my own mental and physical things as well. So it's like in that time, there was never going to be enough conversations I could have had with her. It's never going to be because she wasn't having all good days. Some days were bad days. Some days she just slept when I was there, but I was there every day. So, yeah, grief. It really sucks. And I think sometimes I had this conversation with my job at one point where I'm like, I'm trying to have a human experience here. And going into work is just like is a routine, like a computer type, like a robot type of experience. Like y'all not having the same human experience that I'm experienced, but then you have to realize they ain't walked in your shoes. They ain't been through what you've been through. So there is no understanding there. A lot of times people expect you to pick up where you left off at. And the thing about it is you're unable to do that because you're a different person. Like I believe everything in life is to teach us some type of lesson and we're supposed to learn from. And I know a lot of times if we don't get the lesson, we'll get that same trial or tribulation in a different way for us to get to the root to get to that lesson again. So trying to get people to understand what you're going through sometimes will go on deaf's ear because everybody's not going to understand. Everybody is not going to have empathy. Everybody is not going to be able to be like, oh, okay. Because everybody processes it differently. Some people can just pick up and keep it going. They can hold it all in and use their quiet time to grieve. I think that um, the journey that I'm on, I had to live all of mine out loud. I had to feel all the feels. I had to go through everything I'm experiencing this past year to teach me something. I had to be able to catch those lessons. And that journey wasn't easy. So nobody, I think that's why my second book was grieving isn't easy and healing definitely hurts. It definitely do because to relive all your traumas, to relive all the pains just to get to a point to say, hey, I'm not gonna be triggered by everything that I've dealt with in my past. I could face all this stuff head on and I have the tools and the things that I need in order to push through it. It becomes a lot. I know that in this grief process, I've not only been grieving the loss of my mother and other family members and other friends that passed away. Like my grief was not attached to just the loss of people. It was also attached to other situations, friendships and job structures and just anything that you can name. It's like a constant rotation of all of the stages of grief. So I know the holidays are here and it looks a little different for a lot of us. I'm just hoping that this episode will inspire, encourage, and, basically like a virtual hug to anybody who's also experiencing the loss of a parent, the loss of somebody they really loved, a friend, a family member. Like, I pray that this holds you tight and helps you through that. Yeah, I just want somebody to be encouraged on the days that you feel like you don't want to do it anymore. Like when you don't want to be here, like when it gets so hard that every day you just cry and you be in tears. Or if you grew up how I grew up, you supposed to be like the Teflon Don and nothing's supposed to stick. And you're not supposed to be in your feelings. And you know, I was raised to just, you get a half a second to cry it out and then you got to suck it up and push through. Some days it's hard to do that. So I just want you to be encouraged. I just want you to um I remember I've been saying this a lot too. Like when you go to work and if you don't work, you don't eat. So you have to be around certain people and you have to deal with, customers or coworkers and supervisors and managers and stuff like that. So you don't get to pick. You don't have the option to choose the people that you be around. But in your personal life, in your daily life, you get to pick and choose your circle. You get to pick and choose friends, family, loved ones, associates, acquaintances. You get to pick and choose the people that you spend time with, that you spend energy with, that you choose to love on, that you choose to have love you back. So when you have the option to pick the people that you can be around, pick people who make your soul feel good. Pick the people that love on you with no judgment, that allow you to express yourself and get out what you need to get out. When you're able to pick you a good therapist to go to, that's not gonna let you sugarcoat it, and it's not gonna let you, when you be truthfully honest with them, they're gonna give you the real to help you get over those hurdles in life and help you push through. So yeah, grieving sucks. But this wasn't to make anybody feel sad or to get you back in that space to think about grief. It was to let you know that you're not alone, that we all in it together. Like we all pushing through, we all trying to find what back to a better routine, back to getting back to the thing that brings us joy. Because happiness is not sustainable. Happiness is one of those things that you can get to the happy, but you also have to have, it's a daily thing that you have to do to keep that happy going. And that's where the joy kicks in. That's when the kindness kicks in. That's where whatever you believe in, the most high, the universe, energies, crystals, whatever kicks in and gets you to a place of peace. So, as always, um, again, my books can all be found on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. The um, Love You More, Grieving Isn't Easy is an audiobook available on Audible, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. So find the thing that you love and do that. And as always, we will continue to glow through whatever it is we're going through.